All right, congratulations. You made it to the last ed puzzle for the TDA preparation for Tuesday's test. So I'm just reviewing what we've done so far. The first thing we did was we read the prompt about 3 different times, and then we unpacked the prompt so we know what to focus on as we read the text and what we would need to write about after we read the text. And then remember, we read the text and we were looking for evidence as we read the text to help us answer that question. So we highlighted and we labeled. And when you do that on Tuesday, you can use sticky notes. There's a highlighter tool. There's all different ways for you to kind of keep track of the evidence. Oops, I don't know what that is. So we'll X that off. The fourth thing we did was we made the organizer. So you have that. I'm giving that back to you today so that you can start to fill in some details for that organizer. It would be wonderful if you could do this from memory on Tuesday. You've done it a couple of times now, so you might be able to do it already, but you need to be able to put together an organizer on Tuesday. Yes, all of Mrs. Bullard's students will be making an organizer on Tuesday. If you didn't do that for the practice test, you have to do it for Tuesday's test. It is a very important part of the writing process to brainstorm and to organize your thinking. You cannot just dive into typing the essay. That is not following the process. And then after that, what you're going to do today is you're going to fill out the organizer. And if you have time, you might start the draft. If you just get the organizer filled out, I will be happy with that. Because once that organizer is filled out, you've done all the hard work. Typing the draft and finalizing it for the final draft is very easy once you've got the organizer. The organizer is key to a good essay. Okay? So those are the steps. It's 6 steps. And sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm just going to ignore it. Anyway, you have to follow all 6 steps. That's the process. You don't just go in and start typing a final draft. So one way to help you remember this process is you are going to get this. It's called the writer's checklist. It'll be a part of the test on Tuesday. Please go back and reference this as you're working through your essay. There's 3 sections. The plan before you write section. Okay, this is where you're going to. This is where the organizer comes in. The focus while you write section. And the proofread after you write section. So the plan before you write says make sure you read the question carefully. Make sure you have read the entire passage carefully. Think about how the question relates to the passage, and then organize your ideas on scratch paper. Use a thought map, outline, or other graphic organizer to plan your essay. And that is the organizer that's in front of you right now. Focus while you write. That says analyze the information from the passage as you write your essay. Analyze, it means your own thinking about the evidence. Analyze the information from the passage. Information from the passage is the evidence. Make sure you use evidence from the passage to support your response. Use precise language, a variety of sentence types like short sentences, long sentences, questions, statements, and transitions in your essay. Okay? And then organize your paper with an introduction, body, and conclusion. All right? And then the last section, after you've typed it, you have got to go back and proofread and edit. And so there's like a little checklist here. I wrote my final essay in the response box. Yes. Remember that response box is small, but it extends. Your writing should not be just that short. That is not going to work. To get a 3 or a 4, you've got to write 3 full solid paragraphs with a big body. I stayed focused on answering the question. I used evidence from the passage to support my response, and I corrected errors in capitalization, spelling, sentence formation, punctuation, and word choice. And you will not have access to a dictionary, so do your best with the spelling. One trick that I use, if I don't know how to spell a word, I'll think of another word that means the same thing that I can spell if you're worried about spelling. I know spelling is an issue for some people. Just do your best on that. So today I want you to use the article that you've highlighted and labeled, and I want you to pretend this is your real TDA. Write a hook. What would you use for a hook sentence for your essay? The TAG, the title of the essay, the author's name, and the genre. It's nonfiction or informational text. You can say nonfiction. And the thesis is your main point that you're going to make in your essay. Okay? That's where the answer to the question is. Don't put any evidence in your introduction. Save it for the body. In the body, you need to have 3 pieces of evidence. Put them in quotation marks. Pull them directly out of the text. Okay. You pick the 3 you think that you can write. You can talk about the most. Okay. If you don't think you can say anything about it, don't pick it. You want to pick evidence that you can analyze. If you pick the wrong evidence, your analysis is not going to work. So be careful which pieces of evidence you include because you want to talk a lot about that in your analysis. You should have at least 2 sentences of analysis per piece of evidence. And then finally, the conclusion. You're going to want to restate your thesis. We call that the summary. Just remind the reader what your main point was. Any closing comments, you might want to talk about focus on text structures and how it helps the reader understand information better because that's what the prompt was about. And then your clincher sentence. It could be a quote, it could be a fact, a statistic from the article, it could be a question that you leave the reader, it could just be a statement that makes the essay feel finished. But you want to have a clincher sentence. So go as far as you can with the remaining time that we have today in filling out this organizer. And you're going to turn this in before you leave. And then you're done with the prep work for the TDA on Tuesday. Best of luck. Um, you've got this. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. Everyone is behind you. I'm behind you. I'm proud of you. Just make sure that you follow all the steps and you put in your best effort.